Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have you all and to share a little bit more about BNSF Logistics. So just to get started this evening, wanted to share who we have here with us. Some of the people we will start off introducing, and then we will introduce the rest of them a little bit later on in the presentation, because we know that you all want to hear from people who have experienced our internship firsthand. So just to get us started, my name is Brianna Medley. I will be one of the hosts for this afternoon. I am the intern program manager, and I am based out of the Washington, D.C. area. So I'm one of our remote employees. So more to learn about me, but I want to hand it over to Rhonda to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I am Rhonda Merchant, and I lead the talent management side of the HR team. We are all super excited to be here today and just really looking forward to getting to know more about you.
Right. Thanks, Rhonda. And next we'll have Marie introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marie Song. I am the Senior Manager of Talent, specifically Diversity and Inclusion. I'm super excited to be here to just learn more about everybody and to kind of share my experience at BNSFL.
Thanks, Marie. And I've introduced myself as Brianna. It's really my job in the internship program to make sure that you all have an amazing experience throughout the summer. But now I'll turn it over to Maggie. She'll be also presenting.
Thanks, Brianna. Hey, everyone. My name is Maggie Credwig, and I work on our talent acquisition team as a talent acquisition and communications specialist. And like everyone else here, I'm super excited to share a little bit more about BNSF Logistics. So thank you all for being here.
So with that, we will go ahead and get into a little bit about our company. So we are an organization starting out with Berkshire Hathaway. They are our overall parent company. And then we have the BNSF Railway, which is our sister company. So a lot of times when we're talking to people, they're like, oh yeah, I know exactly who you all are. You all are the orange trains. Well, no, that's actually our sister company. We are the third-party logistics arm of BNSF. And so we do all things with transportation. From trucking to trains, we can do it all. And we'll share a little bit more about how we're able to do all of that. We do have about 750 employees in our organizations, and we have more than 10,000 customers. So we are a growing organization. We did just about $1 billion in revenue. So we're a great organization, strong organization. And then we also have that backing of Berkshire Hathaway. So I'm going to turn it over to Maggie to talk about the next part.
Thank you, Brianna. While she's getting that next slide up, we'll be talking a little bit about what makes BNSF Logistics the company that we are and what are some of the services that we can provide. So our DNA really hinges on three of our services, three different things: our services, our people, and the technology that powers us. And while we might have lost the presentation there in the slide lifting up, but we've got it opening back up. So while we do it, we have 28 different unique services that we can provide, but don't worry, I'm not going to go through all 28 of those services. In just a moment, you'll see a slide that lists some of the 8 biggest categories. And some of those are things that you might know, like transportation execution. So moving things through all different modes of transportation. So the airplanes that you see flying through the air, the ocean liners with the cargos, heavy haul, if it's on a rail, we do move railway freight. And then the trucks that you see going down the road. Basically, if it moves, we can figure out how to move it. We can make it happen. So that's underneath the transportation execution. As you can see, like I said, we have all 8 of these. I'm not going to go into detail about all of them, but I do want to point out project management, because this also contains several of our engineering solutions, which we do have an internship available within our engineering department. We move some of the heaviest loads available, from transformers to wind blades, generators to million-pound payloads on truck, rail, and ocean. We've actually moved one of the largest loads via rail that's ever been moved in the entire world, done right here at BNSF Logistics, which is pretty cool. And these moves take a lot of coordination. So we house them under our project management umbrella, because you might need to move a generator and you might need to schedule train transportation, removal of the generator from the train with a crane. You might need to secure permits for navigating towns. So it's not just about putting an item on a rail car and sending it on its way. It's a lot of different pieces and parts that come together, and our suite of services can provide that for all of our customers. One of the other cool things that we do is reverse logistics. So let's say that you take a computer back to a retail store because it's a lemon and it just doesn't work. What do they do with that? They can't just resell it. It doesn't work. They actually have a process for warranty work to recycle or refurbish, and they need somebody to handle the logistics of that process. So our team delivers on that, as well as kit and consolidation and pallet repair within our reverse logistics facility. We also have an engineer who designs and builds fixtures for big box retailers, cup holders for cards, mezzanine gates, and more. They actually have a lot of fun, and it's really cool to go out to the warehouse and see everything that they've built with it. And then the last two that you see on the slide here, customs house brokerage and global agents, are what help make our company an international company. That group is fantastic. They know all about customs rules, laws, regulations, and they can help ship our customers' items from across borders. Global agents sell more of the global element of things. They align with global providers and they do business on our behalf. So we offer a lot and we never stop delivering what matters, because transportation and logistics seriously doesn't stop, even in the midst of a pandemic, which Brianna will talk about a little bit more.
Thanks so much, Maggie. So yes, to talk about how we were able to deliver what matters, even in the middle of a pandemic. So if you all follow us on Instagram at BNSF_logistics, you can see several of these different stories about how we were able to deliver what matters. But I wanted to just highlight just 3 of them of ways that we were able to do that. So one of the things that we do as an organization is we deliver the giant windmills that you all see that help to generate power and electricity. So we were actually able to successfully execute one of those moves from Canada with a delivery to Washington State. So it was even that international type of a move, and we were able to do that. Another thing that we were able to do in the pandemic is we were able to also successfully move a boiler. And so this move happened from Kansas to Houston. And so we were able to do that as well. So as you can see, there are some giant things that we are still able to ship and move and make sure that they get to where they need to be. And then the last one that I wanted to highlight is this huge generator that we were able to deliver. And so that was a 213-ton generator, and that actually originated in Poland and then made its final delivery and installation in Mexico. So as you can see, we're moving things from all over the world and getting them to where they need to be, and giant things at that too. So sometimes we're able to move things by ship. Sometimes it takes us moving things by train, plane, automobile, any type of way, we're able to deliver and make sure that those things get to their final destination in the way that they need to be. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is our culture. And this is something that is so important to us. There are actually 6 of our guiding principles that we like to live and breathe by within the organization. And so the first one is protecting the well-being of ourselves and others. And I know one of the things that people are really concerned about is this company really going to have my back? Like, are these just words on a slide, or does this actually really apply? And it actually applies. So one of the things when the pandemic first started, we sent anybody that could go home, we sent them home because we wanted to protect the well-being of ourselves as well as our employees. We also drive innovation and embrace transformation. We have an entire innovation team, and they're all responsible for making sure that we're innovating within the space of logistics. Respecting and serving everyone is important because you want to make sure that you're a part of a company and an organization that respects the ideas that you bring. One of the things that's so exciting about our internship is we're going to treat you all like you are an employee with us from day one, and we're going to respect your ideas and we're going to be really excited about them. We also keep our commitment. So whenever we say that we're going to do something, we make sure that we're able to deliver. And then we foster a collaborative and inclusive community. So making sure that we're bringing in everybody and getting an understanding of who they are and making sure that they feel included. And then the last part, which is pretty much everyone's favorite, is we celebrate and enjoy the journey. So we always make sure that we celebrate our accomplishments, whether it's throwing a virtual happy hour or doing anything like that. We try to celebrate our employees when they're doing something well. And so Employee Appreciation Week is a big deal within our organization. And there's so many different ways that they're able to celebrate others. But these are the 6 guiding principles, and we do truly live and breathe them. And Maggie's going to talk a little bit more about some of the awards that we've been able to win as a result of living these guiding principles.
Absolutely. And have to agree, celebrate and enjoy the journey is probably the most fun one up there, but it's also really important. And part of that comes through these awards that you see on the screen here. So we've won several different awards through Comparably, and Comparably is a site that grants awards based on employee reviews. So all of these awards that you see up here really showcase what our employees experience on a day-by-day basis. Our employees highlighted our work-life balance. They felt our CEO was the best ever, and they felt that we valued them as people, not just as employees, which is pretty cool if you think about them leaving anonymous reviews and us earning rewards from it. You can see all of those reviews on comparably.com. And then an award here that we actually won just recently was Arkansas's Best Place to Work.
Yes, thank you, Maggie. Yeah, so there are so many great awards that we have won over the years and continue to win. And I truly believe that we started winning these awards after they implemented these guiding principles. So the guiding principles are fairly new to our organization. And so these awards are a great result of it. So just to talk to you all a little bit about our virtual internship experience. So this past year, we had to shift gears and go from an in-person internship to a virtual one. Again, we wanted to protect the well-being of ourselves and others, including our interns. And so we were able to create a virtual experience for all of our interns. This picture right here that you see is what we sent all of our interns as a welcome and, hey, congratulations, you're joining our team. We're so excited to have you. And we just wanted to send them kind of a care package because going from an in-person internship to a virtual internship, it was like, oh man, a little bit of a letdown, but we still wanted to let them know that we're so excited that you're coming. So this was the welcome box that all of them got. It also had a welcome binder that kind of highlighted all the things that they would experience throughout the summer. Of course, snacks, because who can work at home without snacks, and a few other items. The picture in the middle is how we celebrated and enjoyed the journey. For National Intern Day, we really just wanted to celebrate and highlight all of our interns. And so we had a virtual pizza bake-off competition where everybody got to make pizzas from home, and then they also baked cookies and then mailed them to each other. We did a cookie exchange. And then the last one is our final celebration, where we got the opportunity to truly highlight all of the interns' accomplishments and all of their hard work throughout the summer. And so we had our senior leaders on there, just really celebrating all of the great work that they were able to do. And we also got to do a virtual trivia game. So we really made the best of the situation in the virtual environment. And so just a couple of other things. So why come work for us? I mean, there's so many other places. You have a lot of choices and you're great talent. But some of the things that you can expect with coming to work for BNSF Logistics, well, for one, you'll get to network with our senior leaders. So here's a picture of Dan. This is the president of our company. He took the time to meet with all of the interns throughout the summer and answer any questions that they may have had. But he's not the only senior leader that they got to meet with. They got to meet with everybody in the C-suite throughout the entire time there. They also got to meet with directors and different people in the organization. And they were also able to set their own meetings. So if there was somebody that they wanted to talk to get to learn more from, they had that ability to do so. We also are an essential business. Any and everything that you have or you need or anything that you see around you, it ships, it's going somewhere. So that's something to keep in mind too, from a job security perspective, is everything ships, everything has somewhere to go. And then the last part is, as an intern, you really get to make a difference. So one of the things that we do is we hold off on actually selecting what your project is going to be until a couple of weeks before you get here, because you get to make an impact. So your project is a project that you are going to do, and you get to own that throughout the summer. And so here's just a cool video from one of our interns from last summer, Brooke. Her switching into her attire for working from home. So those are just a couple of things to keep in mind on why you should come to work for BNSF. So Maggie's going to talk a little bit about the job description and some of the roles that we have available.
Yeah, absolutely. So our internship program is a 10-week program and it starts in late May. It's open to junior level students, and our programs always had three main components. So first is the day-to-day work of an entry-level employee. Our interns are coming in, they're receiving duties and tasks and responsibilities that an entry-level employee would receive. This means that they'll have some opportunities to be an individual contributor as well as to work on a team within their department and really gain those skills too. The second piece are two different projects. So one is an individual department-specific project that asks them to really dive in deep and really understand their department and a business case or an issue or a project that they're working on, and then present that at the end of the summer. The second project is a group project that has a scope that spans the entire business. This asks them to collaborate with other interns, as well as to research other areas of the business, really dig in deep, really know who to reach out to provide a solution and a recommendation at the end of the summer. The third pillar of our internship program are networking events. So they'll be able to network with senior leaders like Brianna discussed earlier, as well as a lot of fun social team building events with other interns. So our interns actually have a pretty rigorous summer planned for them that requires them to problem solve, think analytically, and manage their time effectively. You can find the full description for each of our internships on our website. And if you do decide to apply, please ensure that you've selected that you found us via Way Up. And also, pro tip, add a cover letter so that you can stand out from the crowd. Let us know why you really want to work at BNSF Logistics and why you want to be a part of our internship program. We do have a few different internships available. We have filled our sales and our supply chain internships, but we have 5 openings available today. That is in our IT department, our HR, specifically talent management, civil engineering, a finance and accounting internship, and then our marketing internship. Again, all of these postings are on our website, and you can see the full description there for the skills we're looking for and some of the things you'll be doing throughout the summer.
Well, thank you so much, Maggie, for sharing about the opportunities that we have available. So we definitely would encourage you all to apply, but we still have a little bit more in our program. So now to introduce the other people that we have featured here with us. So we actually have been able to bring in 3 former interns to share a little bit about their specific experiences. So I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves and just kind of share their name, share what internship they were a part of, and then if they are working for BNSF currently, what department they're in, or for our intern that is going to come work for us, what school you go to. So we'll start off with Lindsay. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Jurchek. I am originally from Dallas, Texas, but I work in the Springdale, Arkansas location right now remotely because of the pandemic. I am the former human resource intern for the HR department, and I am a recent University of Arkansas graduate. I don't know if we have any University of Arkansas students here, but woo pig if we do.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Lindsay. Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you. And also, one of our other former interns, Tyrone, can you introduce yourself? Can you share your name, your background, what area you interned in, where you are now, and what school you went to?
Gotcha. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Tyrone. I was a 2019 intern here at BNSF. Currently working here full-time as a customer service rep. I graduated from Iowa State University, majoring in supply chain management with a minor in business management from the Chicago area location. So I worked in the downtown office. What else can I say for you guys? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have right now.
Great. Well, welcome, Tyrone. And then last but not least, we have Safika. So Safika, can you share a little bit about what department you worked in and then where you're headed? I know you're still going to be coming in a little bit, and then what school you go to.
Definitely. So, hey, everyone, I'm Safika. I am currently a student at Indiana University. I am studying supply chain management, business analytics, and also business law and ethics. This last summer, so in 2020, I was the international intern. And when I start working at BNSF this summer, I will be working as an enterprise service analyst.
Excellent. Great, Safika. Well, welcome. Well, welcome everybody. We have just a few questions that we want to ask each of you all, just to share a little bit about your experience. So we'll start off with Safika. Why did you decide to accept the internship with BNSF?
So when I was looking for internships junior year, I happened to be doing a case comp that was very closely related with BNSF Railways. And it was how I was sort of introduced to the idea of working in logistics. So I'd learned a lot about the innovations in logistics and the importance of logistics. And then I met Rhonda, who is just really great. You know, I loved her enthusiasm, and she was always very excited to answer all of my questions. And I did have the opportunity to talk with some of the people in the company, which really solidified my decision to work there. I thought that working with BNSF Logistics would be a good experience for me as a supply chain major, even if it turned out that I didn't like logistics, because it gave me the opportunity to learn so much more about the industry. So yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, let's go over to Tyrone. Why did you decide to accept the offer with BNSF Logistics?
Okay, so my decision was based heavily on my final interview process with the vice president of my department, Gino. It was pretty funny because during the interview process, before we began to get deep into everything, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you look pretty sharp. You got a nice, dress shirt and everything." And then he was like, "Stand up." And although it wasn't like a pandemic, though, I had on my pajamas, so it kind of was like an icebreaker for me and him. So we just kind of laughed about it, and that kind of made me more comfortable throughout that process when we was going deeper into the questions and everything. So I believe, just that conversation and that and the same values that we shared together pretty much was heavily based on the decision of why I actually accepted to come work for you guys.
Great, thank you. All right, and Lindsay, why did you decide to come work for us?
So about 2 years ago, when I was looking for an internship, a human resource internship specifically, it was really hard to find. I could not find any. And then one day I found BNSF Logistics job posting for an HR intern. I read the job description. I found out that I would be rotating through the different teams within the HR department: compensation, learning and development, HR generalist, and talent acquisition. And it caught my eye immediately. So I applied. I got a call about 3 weeks later for a phone interview with one of our recruiters. Absolutely loved her. It was very personable, very fun phone screening and phone interview with them. My second interview was with the manager of the learning and development team. And I think we probably went over an hour with my interview, just talking like old friends. He asked me about school, everything that was going on, why I wanted to work at BNSF Logistics. And it was really great. Like I said, a really great interview process. And yeah, they decided to hire me. And I remember getting that email that they decided to have me as their HR intern. I was walking to the shuttle to go to one of my classes, and I just screamed. I was like, oh no, oh my gosh, I got the internship. As a junior in college, you're really wanting the internship to get like that experience for the real world. And I got it. It was just a really great feeling. And yeah, so I screamed when I got the internship out of excitement.
Well, that's good. And you're still here working full time, so that's even better.
Exactly. I forgot to mention I am the HR coordinator for BNSF Logistics as well.
Great. Thanks, Lindsay. All right, so my next question, a lot of people have sent in questions about, okay, what is my project going to look like? And I know we can't give the specific projects yet because we get them a few weeks before they begin, but what types of projects did you all work on? So we'll start off with Tyrone this time.
The major group project that I worked on with two other interns, one was located in the Atlanta branch and the other intern was from the Ohio branch. So our project was basically finding out the existing inefficiencies throughout the company. And we pretty much had to figure out, I guess, what our competitors were doing and how can we kind of keep up and what can we do better in order for us to stay competitive and get to that next level. I'm not going to go into too much detail in case, y'all might had the same project, if not different, but that's pretty much the gist of what it consists of.
Great, thank you. And Lindsay, since you interned around the same time, what was your project like? Can you share a little bit and then some of the tasks maybe that you did?
Yeah, of course. So Maggie mentioned earlier, we have a reverse logistics warehouse based in Rogers, Arkansas. And luckily, me and my two other coworkers who were also interns at the time, we got tasked with the project of going over to the Rogers warehouse and observing and analyzing processes and recommending improvements and solutions in the three key areas of the warehouse. So one of them was corporate purchase orders. The second one was inbound freight and warehousing. And the third one was e-commerce orders and pick and pack fulfillment. All things that Maggie mentioned that were available within the reverse logistics warehouse. And so about once or twice a week, me and the other interns, we went to the reverse logistics warehouse, and we worked there. We were picking and packing, all like manual labor work, and it was so much fun. We really got to dive in deep with our project, so it was really great.
So you all got a lot of that hands-on experience so you could actually give good recommendations for your project.
Yes, exactly. It was so fun and it was amazing. I loved those road trips to Rogers, even though it was only like 15 minutes away. It was a nice time.
Good. All right. Well, Safika, can you tell us a little bit about your projects? I know you had an individual one and then you had a group project. Can you share about both of those?
Yeah, definitely. So my group project, it was focused on integration within the company. And excuse me, we provided feedback on the user experience with Quest, which is the company's operating platform. It required me and my team to talk to different members from different parts of the organization and figure out what problems they were experiencing and how we could or provide feedback on how Quest could integrate their needs for the platform better. But what I was really excited about over the summer was my individual project. Like Brianna said, it was like super relevant. My project that was given to me was to analyze the impact of the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the domestic and international logistics industry. That's like a really big question that they posed to me. And I had a lot of fun just like researching and figuring out how like different ways that the pandemic could impact the company. And obviously I can't go into the specifics, but I did a full detailed report and I gave a really good presentation, if I do say so myself. And it was a lot of fun. I got to talk to a lot of people inside the company about what they thought, about how they thought political changes could impact the company, because obviously the pandemic is also political to some extent. But yeah, it was a really fun project.
Great, yes. And I mean, obviously, Safika, we liked your project and your presentation. We extended you an offer to come back and join us full time. So yes, she did a great job this past summer. So I actually have another question for you, Safika, since you had the pandemic internship, right? So how did the virtual part of the internship kind of play out throughout the summer? Did you feel like it was still a good and a positive experience? Were you able to make connections? Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, for sure. So before the internship started, but after I had found out that it was going virtual, I was very apprehensive. As a junior, I really wanted to stand out and make an impression and, hopefully get the job offer. One of my goals for the internship was to actually grow my network. And when it went virtual, I was concerned that I might not be able to do that to the extent that I wanted to. However, I felt that you, Brianna, and Maggie and Rhonda were really, really, really great at helping us get out of our shells and get connected to everyone in the company, even though it was in a virtual setting. By the time it was the second or third week, I had absolutely no qualms about like emailing someone and asking them if they wanted to meet. And then the team that I worked on, so the international team, they were really great. We would have these weekly meetings that I immediately, they already have weekly meetings, and I immediately became a part of them. So they were always keeping me in the loop, and it was really, really and I got to learn from each part. So exports and imports, and each team would teach me about what they're doing, which was really great. So from the learning aspect, I feel like being virtual barely changed any of it. I feel like if it was in person, I might have learned more about the technology that you guys are using. I might have had some more hands-on experience with that technology, but from the learning perspective itself, it was really great. Then there's a second part to your question. I heard it. Everyone was really welcoming. That's really what it boils down to. Everyone was really welcoming. It was so easy to I would even say that it's easier to meet people virtually, because if it was an in-person internship, I'd probably have that pressure to go to the person's room and knock on their door and ask them if they have time. Whereas virtually, I could just send them an email and they could get back to me as and when they could. And then when it comes to connecting with people at the head of the organization, you guys did such a great job of connecting us to Dan and Nancy, and really, so that's what I have to say about that. The virtual part was great. I almost it was seamless in my opinion.
Well, Lindsay, can you share what was your experience like? You got to be in person, you and Tyrone both, so I'll have you share first, and then I'll have Tyrone share about his experience.
Yes, so during my internship, I think my group was the only people who were in the same office all at once with each other. I think Tyrone had his partners or his coworkers across the US. So definitely having my partners there with me was a great experience. I can't tell you how many times me and my coworkers were just talking, having so much fun, getting to know each other, getting to work on the project together in person. And at Satvika said, in person, everyone was just so welcoming. I don't doubt that everybody was really welcoming virtually, but in person, everybody, like I said, the culture is amazing. Everyone was so welcoming. I think my first day consisted of just walking around the entire Springdale, Arkansas building and just meeting everybody. I met everybody within the HR department. I met everybody who wasn't in the HR department. And like I said, everyone was just very welcoming. Culture was amazing. All in all, great experience in person.
Thank you. And Tyrone, how was your experience as an intern?
I agree with Lindsay. The environment was definitely welcoming. As though I was the only intern in my office, it was very supportive, and everyone was pretty much welcoming. And then a lot of questions that I had, everyone was kind of there to help me out. I think my first day, actually, my manager took me out to lunch. Yeah, he bought me lunch and everything. He offered me a drink and stuff like that. So it was it was pretty chill and laid back, so I definitely enjoyed the internship process. Unfortunately, you guys are virtual, so you probably don't get none of those good perks as we do. But as far as the environment, it definitely was a great environment that I feel that you could be authentic and be yourself. And, anytime I had any questions, I could just easily ask anyone in the office, and even throughout the group project, everyone was one phone call away when we needed answers on different questions and everything. So environment and people is definitely it was out the water. It was something different.
Just running off what you just said, about not having as many perks as you did. I see where you come from with that, but we did get this really, really nice gift box at the beginning of the internship. I got this really great sweater. I don't know if you have it. My sweater was awesome. I think you might have missed out doing it in person.
I think we did miss out. I did not get a sweater.
Exactly. I got like like 12 pairs of socks and like so much candy. Like, did I really miss out?
Also tell them how we were able to take you to lunch virtually.
Oh yeah, that was cool too. Like we would have all of these like lunch and learn sessions. So we would, Brianna would send us like, what is it? It's not Grubhub, it's the other one.
DoorDash
coupons, and like we would all like order lunch together every now and then we would like learn about a specific team or a function. It was really like, it was a great way of connecting. I mean, obviously things have changed. It's not an in-person meeting, but I feel like BNSF and like Brianna and her team did like a really good job of like helping bridge that gap between everyone that virtual environment sometimes perpetuates.
We even were able to have one happy hour with drinks. I mailed them to them.
Yes, we were.
I want virtual drinks.
So, you know, we just had to make it work, not the same type of thing, but, you know, we adjusted and we pivoted, still made it fun and engaging for you guys.
I still have that wine glass. I actually brought it with me to college. It's really pretty. I like show it to my friends all the time. Like got all the glitter on it and everything.
So yeah, you know, we had to make up and still make it fun and engaging and all of that. So I just have a couple more questions for you all. So what advice would you all give to the incoming interns? So the people that are on here right now, they want to get an internship with BNSF. What advice would you give to them? So we'll start out with Tyrone, and then we'll go to Lindsay, and then we'll end with Sasvika. So Tyrone, what advice would you give?
I would say be yourself and stay authentic. I think that's like the most advice I can give anyone. It could get, I guess I say, a little nervous and everything. You might have, be hesitant of asking certain type of questions and, things in that nature. But I feel like if you just be yourself, it'll take you a long way.
I love that.
Build relationships.
Yes. Make sure that you are connecting, networking, and being yourself, because ultimately that's what, you sell. So I love that. Lindsay, what about you?
Tyrone stole my advice. I was going to say, be authentic, be yourself, and definitely network. I can't tell you how many business cards I still have just of random employees within BNSF Logistics. Every time I talk to a new person, a new employee, I'd be like, can I have your business card? Just so I'd have their information so I could connect with them. I would know their name. I could search them on LinkedIn, build my connections. Like Tyrone said, be authentic and be yourself, because it'll take you a really long way. I remember in my internship interview, my last one, my final one, I asked them what kind of, for lack of better words, what kind of vibe I was putting off as a new young professional. And they told me I did absolutely great. I was myself, and they could really tell. So it really does take you a long way if you are yourself and authentic.
I love that. Yes. Be yourself. And Lindsay, you mentioned something about LinkedIn. So you all see all these wonderful names up here. Find us on LinkedIn, connect, start to build your network. That is absolutely key to going far. So I really love that advice about the LinkedIn.
Yes, I agree. Shoot me a little message, whatever, add me on LinkedIn. I'm always looking to grow my connections, and I know you guys are too. So.
All right. And Safika, what advice would you give to the interns? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So I'm mostly going to mirror what Lindsay and Tyrone just said, but it's really important, to really listen and, ask questions and be yourself and be authentic and network. But what I would say for people who are yet to apply or who are in the application process or who are still thinking of applying, don't be afraid to take risks. I know BNSF Logistics isn't like, they're not going to grill you on something that you don't know during the interview. I, for one, did not know anything about international logistics when I applied to be the international logistics intern. Don't be afraid to take the risk, and I'm sure the team will see that you're really enthusiastic about learning when you do apply. So, yeah.
Okay, and then we had a really good question in the chat. Someone asked what challenges you all faced as interns. So I wanted to make sure that we got that one out there. So we'll, before we wrap up the panel piece, we'll answer that question. So what challenges did you all face during your internship? So we'll start out with Tyrone.
That's a great question. Challenges. The biggest challenge for me was pretty much not actually like anything to do with the actual internship, as in like with people or anything, but more so in my position and my role. I worked as a transportation assistant, so I got both sales and operations knowledge, and I worked in both of those fields during my internship. And one of the most stressful and challenging things that I had faced was talking to carriers. I wasn't familiar with that whole process, and it was different. I was nervous and everything, and then I didn't actually know if I was saying the right things or or what they was thinking of me. And it was like at times they could be very mean, and it was like a big challenge for me to actually get comfortable with that whole process of speaking to those carriers throughout the day. So I think that was like one of the biggest challenges that I have faced.
No, that's good. And then what type of support did you have to be able to get more comfortable with the carriers?
My manager, he was just like so laid back and chill that he kind of like at first, okay, let me go back. So it was actually my first time working in the office. So I wasn't even used to the office environment at first when I actually interned there. So at first I was already nervous walking into the office environment because it was just different for me. But pretty much in the beginning, he kind of let me go into like the conference room sometimes and speak or practice on, preparing myself before I actually get on the phone. Our ops manager, she actually like wrote me down. I think it was pretty much like what would you call it? A guide, I guess, or like a routine of how to actually like ask for, the ETA on pickup or delivery. So that's pretty much the best way. Like I said, they were supportive to me. And then, they kind of was telling me like, it's okay. Like you might mess up a few times. They might yell at you, but at the end of the day, try again. So you'll get better at it.
That's good. And I love that they just kind of threw you in and like, hey, you're going to try it. You're going to practice. So yeah. That's excellent. All right. Well, let's go to Lindsay. What challenges did you face during your internship?
So my biggest challenge was my internship project. I came in, I'm a business management major with a concentration in human resources. I took one class of supply chain, so I was not well versed in logistics in any sorts. And then my project was over reverse logistics. So not only did I not understand logistics, I also didn't understand the reverse of it as well. So definitely, that was definitely my biggest learning point within the internship, is just learning about logistics in general and supply chain and reverse logistics as well. And to answer Brianna's question to Tyrone about the support I had the support of basically everybody in the Springdale office. My mentor or my coach for that for the project was Yancey Bowen, who is the EVP of Engineering, Procurement, Logistics, and Transportation. So he was a really great asset to have when I had any questions or anything. And I also had my other intern coworker, Will, who was well-versed in logistics. And me and him spent a lot of time in the conference rooms, him just teaching me everything, going over what to say, how to say it, and all of that. So I really had a great support system through my internship with my coworkers and superiors as well.
Thanks, Lindsay. All right. And then Satvika, we'll have you go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, so one of my biggest challenges was with the group project. We had a very broad scope and we had to narrow it down, and we fell into this rut of what a lot of group projects fall into, where we had a lot of ideas, but we weren't making any decisions and we weren't making any progress. And we were just talking a lot, but not getting a lot done. And I remember talking to Brianna about how it was worrying me that we weren't doing anything. And I was worried about like how I could contribute because the group project wasn't exactly overlapping with my international intern, like the international team. So like there was very little from that perspective that I could contribute to. And I remember her, guiding me and telling me that it was okay to like lead a team. So I feel like one of my biggest challenges was to really step into that role of being the person who helps manage and like conflict, and really get a team moving forward. And I think that I had a lot of support, especially from Brianna, in achieving that goal.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us as our panelists. We just have a couple of things that we do want to wrap up with. So we're going to bring Maggie back up to share a little bit about the internship and how you can apply and where you should go next. So Maggie, we'll have you take it away.
Thank you. Absolutely. So, of course, this wouldn't be any kind of virtual event if we didn't say, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can follow both BNSF Logistics as well as BNSF Logistics Careers to see our job opportunities, more posts about our internship, more information about those as well. So give us a follow, and give us a like and a share, and we would love to connect with you on there. If you do have any questions following this presentation, you can send them over to careers@bnsflogistics.com, and we'll reach back out to you as well. We also have some outstanding questions within the question and answer function here. If we haven't answered your question by the time we wrap up today, we will reach out and send that answer over your way. And then, of course, if you like what you see, you can always apply online at BNSF Logistics/careers. And as I mentioned, we have a couple of questions within our question and answer function here. So the first one, I'm going to turn it over to Marie, and that was questions on sponsorship for these internship positions. Marie?
Yes, hi. So as far as sponsorship, we currently do not have sponsorship, but we always encourage everyone to apply. Everyone is being reviewed, so definitely still continue to apply.
Wonderful, thank you. And then in terms of applications, we've had a couple of questions about when applications close for these internships. We are reviewing applications right now, so your best bet is to go ahead and submit that application with a cover letter as soon as you can. We'll be reviewing those and reaching back out with those next steps and updates, and as we're reviewing them on an ongoing basis. And then Brianna, I believe we had a couple more questions that we wanted to address that were submitted before, so I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thanks, Maggie. Yeah, we do have a few questions. So the first one that we have is, are there ways that BNSF can help me to further my education in the future, such as sponsoring certificates or a graduate degree? So I'm going to actually turn that one over to Rhonda to answer.
Hello, everyone. So yes, we do have different opportunities. We have a very robust tuition reimbursement program, as well as additional benefits. We also have a very robust learning and development program, which Brianna is also a part of. And our learning and development team consists of different leadership learning opportunities, all the way down to frontline learning opportunities that would just help you in your day-to-day. So yes, we definitely have different solutions and offerings just depending on what you're looking for.
All right. And then we had another question about what's the best way to show excitement or interest for the internship program. And the best thing that you can do is to apply. One other thing that we encourage people to do is to also include a cover letter. That really shows that you are very excited and engaged about the internship program. So that is one way that you can do that as well. And then wanted to just kind of open it up. One of the things that we got as well as far as a question are, what are some things that people can do to be able to stand out? So just general advice as they're going through the interview process or as they are going through our intake process. So I'll kind of open it up to the talent management team, Rhonda, Marie, and Maggie, if you all have anything to add of candidates that you've seen in the past that have been successful.
Well, the intern said it the best, just being authentic and really being you. No one can be as good as you are when you're being yourself. And so that's probably the first thing that I would just echo. And the cover letter, extremely important. I know that, you can read different things and cover letters can be, more outdated. But when you're applying for an internship, especially if you don't have a lot of work experience in the area in which you're applying, a cover letter can really just let us know more about you, who you are, why you're interested in BNSF Logistics, what you plan to gain out of the internship. So, turn it into just something different than your resume. What I often will advice I'll give around cover letters, if it's on your resume, you don't necessarily need to put it in your cover letter. So let that really be just a different document that helps the employer really get to know you.
All right. And then, Rhonda, just one more question. Are the internships this summer going to be held virtually or in person?
Great question. And I wish that we could say definite at this point. Either way, we're planning for an in-person experience. Obviously, just if we can get back there and just be able to be around one another and just have the ability to be in the office, that's what we're planning for. But we're also planning for a virtual experience. At this point, we're unsure if it will be a hybrid of the two, or if it will be all in person or virtual. But we should know more about kind of that particular direction in the next few months or so. But definitely you won't miss out on anything. Hopefully that came across loud and clear as our interns debated back and forth of who had the better experience. But again, if it's not all in person, then we're hoping that at least there could be a couple of, in office visits during the course of the summer.
Great, thank you. So those are all of the questions that we had from the previous submissions. We were also able to answer a lot of the questions throughout the presentation. So thank you all so much for submitting those questions. Thank you all again, and I think we are right at time. So please go out and apply to our internship program. We will be looking for your applications. I know Maggie does a wonderful job of letting me know, like, hey, this person, time for them to get an interview. So she is checking those daily. So if you apply tonight, she'll probably see it tomorrow morning. So apply, and then we will let you know what next steps look like. We are constantly reviewing candidates. And again, thank you so much to our panelists for coming on to share about their internship experiences. And thank you to our leaders for just coming on to share some advice in the application process. So thank you all so much and have a wonderful evening.